Good morning everybody, and welcome back to another video. So first of all, first thing is, if you notice, I've changed my channel name. I am now called the Resin Mama. I got rid of D&A Resin because long story short, I disconnected myself from YouTube and Resin, and a few of you had noticed in previous videos that I wasn't as energetic, as enthusiastic as I had been in previous videos. Well, a long story short, people are skipping the videos, which affects the channel. The channel doesn't get views, and when I don't get the views, there's no money coming in from YouTube, and it just puts me on a downer. And so I just thought, right, let's start again. So we did a full rebrand all across social media. I picked the name Resin Mama because I was already originally called the Resin Mama before I went joint with my partner. We are now separate. He's doing his thing and I'm doing mine. So what we're going to be doing on here, if you're new and you've not seen me before, my name's Donna. I do full resin in-depth tutorials from start to finish. Things are sped up, but not to the point where you're going to miss things. And I'm for all levels of resin. I'm still learning myself. I will attempt anything. So if there's anything that you want me to do, please let me know down in the comment section. If you've got any questions, or you want to know anything, or you know, discount codes and links to products in any of the videos, they're always down in the description box. Any comments, etc., questions, just ask down in the description, not down in the description, down in the comment section, and I'll respond when I can. Anyway, so what we're doing today is we're going to be doing this 3D wolf head mould. Now, I got this from Temu, and honestly, it takes 700 mils, I think, from what I've seen. I've only ever seen one person do this. Two, sorry. So we're going to be doing a variety of blacks, greys, whites, and a bit of beige on the nasal, on the snout, should I say. So first thing is first is eyes. Now, you can make your own eyes if you're good at that. You can use the cabochon ones, which a lot of people use for frogs and lizards and dragons, etc. So I've got these 6mm cabochons, and I'm not sure whether to use the brown, or like the goldy colour, or the blue. Now wolves, obviously wolves have got like orangey eyes, some have red, if you know, if you're into fantasy and all that. If you've got mixed breed husky with a like a wild husky, like with a husky, you get them with blue eyes. So I'm not sure. Let's go for the blue. Let's go for the blue, because I am an husky lover. I love my huskies. They're my favourite breed of dog, and my husky we've just lost recently had blue eyes. So what you're going to need for inserting eyes is UV resin, a torch or a lamp, some tweezers, and your mould. Right, so we just get our UV resin. The good thing about using these ones is they don't have to be put down in the right, the right way, because they only go one way anyway. And all we do is just put a little bit of UV resin on the eye, not too much because otherwise it'll roll off. We get our eye. These are murder. Let's turn it off. The slippy. Here's me doing a tutorial. I can't even pick up some little cabochons. We'll just place that on top of the UV resin. Move it around and get it into place. And then all you do is get your torch and just put it on the top. You need to cure from the underside as well. You can use a double-sided UV lamp, but with moulds this size it might not fit. So I just cure it for about 20 seconds on both sides just to lock it in, and then I'll give it a proper cure. And then we just gently, see, you're probably better off putting the eyes in first, but I want to do UV resin on the eyes, so I didn't want to start having to wipe powder off and stuff. So you can put your eyes in first, or you can put your powders down first, or whatever colourants you're using. But just be careful when you are brushing around the eye sockets not to dislodge the eyes, because they will move pretty easy. Right, and then we're just going to do the same with the other eye. Again, very gently, just going to wedge that up. I'm just wedging it up, it just makes it easier. What do you think of the new name, guys? Hope you like it. If you use UV resin, turn it up for about 30 minutes before you use it. You don't have to, it just helps with getting the UV resin into the nozzle and stops bubbles coming out, because bubbles are a nightmare when you're doing eyes. And then cure again. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put you on pause. I'm going to give these a big cure with my UV lamp, and then when I come back we can get on with putting down our colours. So I will get back with you in a second. Alright, so that's had a 2-minute cure. So for the next part, I'm going to put like an eyeliner around the eye, so like black markings. So I'm going to grab some UV resin. When using black in UV resin, if you're using pigment paste or even mica powder, you need to make sure that it's not too opaque. If it's too opaque, the UV will not penetrate through and you'll end up with wet resin, like wet UV resin underneath. It forms like a skin. So you're best off doing in a couple of layers, nice and thin, and then you can build on that. I'm doing that. So I'm going to pour some UV resin in there. I'm just using the Vida Rosa UV resin. This is my backup UV resin, just because I've run out of the Apex, so I'm waiting the delivery. I'm using DecorRom black pigment paste. This is amazing, it's fabulous, honestly, it's so pigmented. Out of all the pigment pastes I've used, it's this one, and also Apex's black pigment, which I find is the best on the market. Right. So I'm just going to use like a very small amount, not even that, that's way too much. It's basically that. Just give it a good mix so it's all mixed in, and make sure you've got no striations left in the resin. That goes for epoxy and UV. I'm just cleaning that off my stick and off my tweezers. Right, so I've got these new silicone tools. I've had them a while, but I've not used them yet properly. So they've got like different endings. That's better. I was looking for one with more of a rounded bottom. So I'm going to use that one. What we're going to do is where the points in the eyes there, all around there, around the top, and all the way down there, we're going to use black UV resin, just so that their eyes stand out. Because on wolves and huskies, the eyes always stand out because they've got that eyeliner on. So that's what we're looking for. So just I'm just going to start off with a thin coat. And what we do, we cure as we go along, and that way the resin doesn't start running off everywhere. 1 second. And that's all we do. So I'm gonna speed through this, play a little bit of music. So I will see you once I've done both sides.
Pour the night into the mold, it glows. Black resin flows where the silence grows. A shadow wolf born from my careful hand. Under the lamp, it takes its stand. Shaping darkness with a steady flow. Under UV light, it starts to glow. A creature of the void I bring to life. Crafting dreams with my own knife. Silicone whispers hold the form tight. A wolf emerges from...
Right, I'm going to do the other one off camera, just because this is taking a little bit longer than I expected, and I don't want the video to be hours long. There's nothing worse. So that's what I've done on that side, and we're going to do the same on that side, and we're going to do the same on the nose, but I'll do that when I come back. So I will see you in a second. Right, so I'm back, and I've done both the eyes the best I could do, and now we're going to do the snout. So I've added a bit more UV resin to the pot, and we've got to get it down there somehow. So I think we're going to scoop it down there and then push it in. And I just want a thin layer to start off with, otherwise it's not going to cure. You will need a lamp for this bit, because the torch, it might do. Might try the torch. I can't see, because I'm like 5'10.5". I can't see what I'm doing. I'm just trying to get it up so it's thin. Now let's just cure that and see how we get on. There's a hair on my mould. There was a hair in the UV resin, it splattered UV resin in there. Right, so what I'm going to do for me again is put it on a time lapse, because it's not going to be a quick job this, and I don't want to sit sat there watching an hour of video doing a snout. Right, I'll see you when I come back. Right, so as you can see, the snout is starting to take shape. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to finish it off on this side, and then I'm going to put another layer on so it's all covered, and then cure it underneath my lamp because it's more powerful. And when I come back, we can get down with putting some mica powders on the mould. See you shortly. Right, so the eyes and the nose is done. That took forever, that. So what we're going to do, we're just going to put it on. All variety of colours, from browns, blacks, greys, a bit of white, and then we're just going to blend it all in. So I'm using the Resins mica powder, the 36 box. I've got about 80 missing. I wonder where they are. Antonio. Antonio's my partner, by the way. He seems to steal my mica powders. So I'm going to use a bit of copper. I've got some white. the best thing to do with colours is turn them upside down so you know what colours they are. Otherwise we're going to be here all day. Some black. Some seashell. Got a grey now. Some brown. Bronze? No. I don't want too much brown because... No, I don't want gold. No pink. Brown. And then I've got a grey. So I think that would be plenty colour. What's that one? Bit of coffee, that'll do. Right. Turn them over and knocking them all down. And, right. Just going to get some big brushes, 1 second. Right, I'm back. Just wanted a few more brushes because I didn't want to be using the same brush for each colour. I'm just going to sprinkle it on like that.
The magic that's so fine, colors swirling like they're divine. Epoxy dreams in the mold they lay. Mica whispers in a vibrant display. Shimmer, shimmer, let it flow. In the resin, watch it glow. Every flecks of stars caught in my eyes. Pour the resin, let it take its form.
Right, I've no idea what this is going to turn out like, so wish me luck. So what we're going to do now is just put these away. I'm not sure why that last powder was sparkly. I think that's my crushed crystal. It doesn't matter. I'm not understanding why it's in my white resin box, my white mica powder box. Right, so a thick-ended brush, nice and soft. And we're just going to start rubbing, just like that. It doesn't matter if you use too much mica powder because it'll easily come off. Make sure that you get all inside the edges and the lip, as you don't want to miss any bits. This is a quick way basically of colouring your mould, and it saves all the hassle of having to get the mica powder out and then put it back away and then get a new one and then put it away. So now we're going to take a blush brush, and this is basically just to soften the blending. So what colour goes down on first is the colour that's going to come up on the mould, whether you're using mica powders or chameleon powders. Please beware when using mica powders that the colouring may change depending on what you put down as a backing colour. So if you use a white, then whites that you've put down will turn grey, etc, etc. Right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to mix up 700 mils. I'll just go for 750. I think 750 would be, just in case it's not enough. 750 mils. And I'm using the Apex High Gloss resin from Just Your Online UK. Now, I would advise is pouring this, if you're a beginner, to use deep pour resin because it's beyond most resin's depths. However, because I've worked with Apex for over a year, I'm used to their resins. I know how they work. I know the ins and outs of the resins. So the High Gloss, they have a depth pour of 5 centimeters. Now I've took it to 9 centimeters without it flash curing, so I'm not quite bothered. But what I do is if I do pour it beyond its depth that I've got it to, I put a fan on it, and what that does is it slows down the exothermic reaction and prevents it curing too fast, which was causing a flash cure. So I'm going to take this to the garbage can and gently remove the excess powder. And when I come back, we're going to get pouring our resin. Now I'm going to back this in white, not black, because I don't want to darken up the silvers. I just want nice soft colour. So I'll see you shortly. Right. So I've mixed up 3 pots of resin, 8 in the 2 and 6 in there. I've decided to go for black instead of white. I'm just not a lover of white backings. So I'm just going to put some pigment paste. I've only mixed my resin halfway through just because I don't want to mix this for 4 minutes and then have to mix it again for another 2. So I'm just going to speed through this now.
Pour the liquid like a quiet stream, black pigment like a midnight dream, epoxy swelling in a slow romance. This alchemy deserves a second glance. Stirring deep, the shadows grow in the resin where secrets flow. Hold the cup, feel the rhythm rise. Dark magic forms before your eyes. Mix it up, let the colors bleed. Black and bold, it's all we need. In the resin where the shadows play, we make the night in the light of day. It's the dance of the deep unknown. Every stroke calls a piece of home. Swirls of mystery in the glow. An art that only the fearless.
Right. So what we're going to do now is we're going to pour this in. Because this mould is has such intricate details, and I've put mica powders down, I can't spray any ice bubble alcohol. So I'm going to be using a slow and fine pour, just so that the resin can trickle where it wants to go. And I just pour it in one place, I don't pour it anywhere else. So let's start with the smallest cup. So just from a height, and this also helps with bubbles as well, because as the resin's being poured, the stream is that thin, the bubbles pop before they hit the mould. But we'll get bubbles anyway, it's fine. Right guys, so that's done now. I'll leave that at room temperature for 30 minutes because this has got a work time of 30 minutes. So by 30 minutes I'll start thickening, just so that I can torch the back. If you are going to use a blowtorch on your moulds, make sure you don't go to the edges of the mould, only like below the centre. That way you're not going to fuse your resin to your mould. Or you just use ice bubble alcohol. So just in the centre there. Right guys, so I will see you in a second, which will be like 2 hours for me. Bye. Right, so this is now cured. So we're going to get this demoulded, but I'm going to need some help, so I will have to demould it off camera because I've got carpal tunnel and I can't pull the mould off. So bear with me a second. Right, sorry about that. Right, are you ready for this? I think it's really stunning. Look at that. Look at them eyes. I love them. I would have liked a little bit more lighting around here. So what we're going to do for that is we're going to use some markers. I have some new markers. So, just bear with me a sec, guys. Artex sent me some of their metallic colours and also sent me some other ones. I'm just trying to get the wrapper off. These are really, really nice markers. I haven't used them yet, but I've seen them being used and they're really nice. So I just want to lighten just on the eyebrows there. Just maybe with a little bit of silver maybe. So that's the colours you get. So let's have a look. You will need to blot these. Oh, do you? No, they're already there. So I just want to just lighten it just a little bit, not too much. Just to give it a little bit more contrast on the eyes, and we're just going to do the same on the other one. And then just blend it in. You see? Makes a difference, doesn't it? Maybe down here, just the odd fleck. I was going to use metallic powders in the mould as well when I was doing, but and the good thing is about these marker pens, they're shiny, so when they dry they don't go matte, and I really like it. But anyway guys, let me know what you think down in the comments of the actual mould and the actual make. I hope you enjoyed the tutorial. So please like, comment and subscribe if you've not already done so. That would help my channel out so much. And I shall see you on tomorrow's upload. Goodbye, thanks for watching.